Good morning.
Good afternoon from
Good
me.
afternoon. Oh, I'm so excited. This is awesome. How
It's
are you?
good. I actually feel like really emotional today. Like I'm about to bleed and I just feel like on the verge of crying all the time, even though there's nothing I'm particularly upset about. You know how it is. So if I cry, then you know what, I'll be grateful because I feel like it's been on like it's been like on the precipice of my eyelids all day and I just need to release.
Yes, and it's coming. It's coming. Just got off of mine, and I've been crying for days. I sat I was watching a video this morning. It was like not even a video you would think you would cry at, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so sweet. And it just feels so good. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
whatever, let it come. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
I know. I think I need to watch something that's going to make me cry because yeah, I don't know if it's because I've been in a co-working today and maybe subconsciously there's a part of me that's like, even though I cry all the time in public, there's a like subconscious part of me that's like, don't cry in front of people, but I need it. I need to like let it out.
yeah, for sure. Well, I'll start really quick with, you know me, I've been watching you. You're kind of like we're in the circle, you right? So I'm DM Daryl Megan. I'm a life embodiment guide, and I've been doing these interviews with amazing women, and it just every single one has felt so good. Like I get off the call. Come here, Ace. My dog is with me, and he's like unhappy about being tethered. But yeah, it's for a thousand voices, and I'm just finding women who are doing their thing, standing in their power. They've been on their journey, they're on the journey, and so that's why I've been following you, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes to like everything, that you post because there's this like very sensual, sexy side to feminine power, and in some ways, I'm like, it's just such this soft yet it's soft and it's strong. And like I saw it with you. So like yeah, tell us who you are and a little bit about your story, your journey to how you became Amy Untamed, which is like the best handle.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I don't really have like a title that I can give myself at the minute. I was doing coaching for a bit, but at the minute I would honestly just call myself a content creator because I'm figuring out like what avenue to take that down. But I absolutely love content creation. I've been doing it like kind of not very seriously for years, but then after I went through a really big breakup last year, I basically had like one of those years last year where like everything just crumbles. And it was very interesting for me because life had been crumbling for a long time. I had chronic health issues for 7 years. So the past 7 years have been tough, to be honest. Really tough. Periods of, years of not being able to work, being housebound, two big breakups. And I kind of got to a point in life where I was like, do you know what? I need to just live my life. I don't know. I've been doing all these healing modalities. I'd spent thousands and nothing was kind of getting me over this chronic health condition. And I got to a point when I was like, I just need to live my life because I feel like I'm dying and I'm missing out. And so I went traveling, which was very difficult to do with a chronic health condition. But I went traveling with my partner then at the time, and we came back to England to get visas to move to Portugal. And when we came back, my life just literally went like even more than it already had done. And like we had nowhere to live for 3 months. We were living out of house sits and hotels. It was so stressful, so unbelievably stressful as well as trying to manage a health condition. The relationship was just not healthy and was not working. And then my health got so bad that again, I couldn't leave the house again, which anyone that's ever been through a chronic health journey will know it's so difficult to maintain friendships when you're not well enough to go out. So, and I'd been traveling for a while. And so like I was very isolated and I couldn't really do much. I wasn't well enough to work, but I was like, do you know what? I'm actually going to start to take content creation seriously. I'm going to show up and say shit that actually I want to say rather than saying stuff that I'm seeing other people say. That was a huge part of my journey is actually just because there's so much when you look at like people that are like how to be successful in content creation. There's like this whole like I did all these courses and none of it ever worked for me. because I wasn't fully being myself. And in January this year, I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I've lost everything. I'm just gonna show up and say what I want to say. And I just started showing up on TikTok and having fun with it. I was like, this is actually so much fun to just express
Yeah.
into the ether. Who's going to see it? Is anyone going to see it? Is no one going to see it? Like, it was quite exhilarating for me. And so I was just chatting shit. I was just literally, I hope I'm allowed to swear on this, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, please, like, just be fully you and authentic.
Yeah, because I love to swear. Yeah, and for 3 months there was nothing. Like, some of your audience are probably, either content creators or are wanting to start to create content or build a platform or put their art out there. And so I like to share this just so that people can see the journey. But for 3 months of like posting like 7 times a day, I was getting nothing. Like, nobody was seeing my post, no growth, nothing. And I just had to keep showing up. And then the past 3 months, my account has grown from 500 to 100,000 nearly.
That is
I
amazing.
think we're a little bit off across my two platforms. Yes. And the reason why I was doing the inner work, um, and I know that looks different for everybody, I found the modality that worked for me, which is something called fast EFT, like tapping and like removing subconscious blocks. And I do that for hours every day. And I want to be clear about that. Like, an hour or two a day, I spend removing blocks around what I cannot do, and then showing up. And through this process, it liberated me in so many ways, because everything that you're going through in your personal life, when you start showing up, and you'll know this from, having your own business and being an entrepreneur, it's reflected back to you times 10. Any wounds you have, any shadows you have, any doubts you have, like, you have to face them
It's right
at
there.
rapid speed.
Uh,
Yeah,
like boom.
yeah. And so I think this journey of going through this breakup and like everything just crumbling and hitting rock bottom, when I already felt like I'd been at rock bottom for years. I was like,
How
there's
can it go
another
lower?
layer? What the
We
hell?
hitting bedrock soon? Like, come on.
Yeah, it actually freed me in a way, and it didn't happen overnight. And then showing up and this content creation thing, and me seeing that, people were resonating with this raw side of me, as well as also getting a lot of shit, don't get me wrong. Like, I get quite a lot of hate comments as well. Um, it just fast tracked me, and I just realized, like this is it. This is it for me. It's to just keep showing up in my rawness and the full range of what that looks like. Because it's freeing me. And I'd always had this thing around, like, everyone was always like, oh, you're so untamed, you're such a free spirit, like, no one can ever tie you down. And then one day I was like, oh, that's a really cool name. I'm going to go for that, Amy Untamed. And just tapping into that and continuing that journey, because I think the hardest thing is, and everyone watching this is probably going to resonate, like, being a quote unquote spiritual woman and constantly evolving and constantly reflecting, and then doing that in the public eye, doing that on social media is honestly such a spiritual journey. Like, I've done plant medicine, I've done these crazy retreats. It honestly, the social media platform growing journey has been the most spiritual journey ever for me. And I think the reason why I've grown so fast is because I have treated it like like a spiritual journey. And
Yeah.
I've just every day been like, right, how can I become more in alignment with myself? How can I become more integral with myself? What is showing me? And then, like, working through that on a daily basis. I think that's the point I want to get across. Like, the inner work and the spiritual growth is what got me here. It was not a strategy. It was not step-by-step framework. It was not any of the business courses that I did. It was literally, it was the work that you do and that I was doing and that I continue to do. And I think that is the most freeing thing that we can do for ourselves as women, because the more we remove those blocks, the more that we can actually be ourselves. And then the more that we are ourselves, the easier things come and the more people can find you, whether
Yeah.
that's in real life or online.
It's like your light just turns up. It's like you have this, I just kind of like imagine it, like living in here somewhere, and it's like it's on. And then you get a little bit more in alignment and your truth gets a little louder and it goes up and then it goes up. And like when you're having, I don't know how you feel, but some moments hit you like boom, bigger than others where you just feel your full, I don't know, vibrancy. And that makes me want to get moved to tears, because I'm like, oh man, this feels so good. Like right now, I am totally right here feeling all of this, and my light just feels so big. And like those, I just want to cry, like the good tears of like, oh, whew, the light is on.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally relate. Recently, I have just been feeling like this cracking open. Like physically, I can feel my chest cracking open. Like I can hear it creaking.
Oh,
And it's so intense. And I'm like, you know, it's scary and it's like it's so vulnerable because I've been feeling like I want to take my platform in a different direction, like no longer coaching, like and so I need to change the direction of my message and of my content. And it's like, but then there's this fear of like, are people going to be able to keep up? Is my message going to land the same? Am I going to, the real like human fears, like, am I going to lose followers? But it's like, I don't have a choice because
yeah.
it's bigger than me. And that it's so beautiful and so overwhelming
Oh my gosh, when you said
at
that.
the same time.
When you said it's bigger than me, I keep, because my favorite place is my front porch. And the thing that keeps landing is just wait, it's bigger than you think. Just wait, it's bigger than you think. Like, but wait, there's more. And right when you think you can't crack open anymore, and for anybody who's listening who doesn't know what we're talking about, I hope that you will, because it literally physically like the sensations in your body, those that we just have to listen to. Like when you feel it at first, you're like, oh, wait, what's happening? And then when you know what's happening, oh my gosh, yeah, wait, it's even bigger than you think. And then you're just on this like roller coaster. And you are the roller coaster riding the roller coaster, coasterception in your life, I'm relating so hard. It's like I can feel the energy through the through the computer.
It's a lot, and it's like I also think that I've just lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh no, this always happens to me. I was going to say something really profound and it's gone. It'll come
It'll come
back.
back. Yeah, it'll come back. It happens all the time.
Oh, this is what I was going to say. The whole like bigger than you thing, I find it's interesting because as somebody who used to be a hyper manifester, right? And now I realize it wasn't manifestation, it was control. And it was like almost a trauma response of like trying to manipulate the outcome of the future because I was anxious. Don't get me wrong, manifesting is real, but I realized that how I was doing it was not I was blocking myself. And actually, I have stopped manifesting. I have stopped, I had a vision board at the beginning of this year on this laptop and there was all these goals. I've scrapped it because I realized I can only see what I can see. And so I'm setting myself these goals that I think are the right thing for me, or the best, or the biggest thing for me. And life was telling me you need to let go of it all because you're trying to manifest, you're trying to control, and there's a bigger vision for you. And that's scary. It's terrifying because you're like, but what about if it never happens? What about if I let go of this and then nothing happens? But I was just very strongly called. So now like that's why I'm just Amy Untamed. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at the minute, but I'm just showing up and I'm allowing whatever this thing is to move through me and just show up when I don't really know what's going on because there's something unfolding that my little human brain can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
And that, we're not taught to do that because in the spiritual world, it's like manifest vision boards, goals, and there is a time and a place for that. Don't get me wrong. But what about if it's actually blocking you as
Mm.
well?
Like the vision board itself at some point, because we're moving so fast, it's almost like a cage. It's like, you're only focused on this thing, then what about making room for something else? Like this project was not on my list for this year. I was sitting on my front porch and it just hit me. I was like, I had just got done working out. I was probably just got done having my little drink and something to eat. And I was sitting there with the dog and I went, oh my God, 1,000 voices. Like, I want to do that. So this was like one of those moments. This was not even on the vision board. I just felt it come into my body, and I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And that was not that long ago. So yeah, I feel you on that. And I love hearing you say that because it's kind of reflecting back an experience that I just had recently. And I love that. Don't put ourselves in a box. Like nobody puts baby in a corner. Why are we putting ourselves in a corner? Don't do that.
Because it's scary to let go.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. And it's just so layered. Like you think you've detached, and then it's like, have you? Should we
But
go
yeah.
another layer? Like, should we drop some more? And it's like, oh, let go.
So what helps you, when you feel that coming in and you're like, what is the telltale sign that you're trying to control it? And then how do you work through the surrender too?
The telltale sign for me is I think especially because I had chronic health issues for so many years, my body speaks to me very loudly, and I will have like a very physical response. So it could be like very, 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 very anxious. Like I can't sleep. I'm like on the border of having anxiety attacks, which, is not normal for me. So when it happens now, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Um, I also just spend a lot of time in silence or just listening to like sounds of rivers because I live in England, which, we do have like the where I live is more like foresty and hilly, and there are some little rivers, but like if I'm just at home, I will just lie there and listen to river music. Like I think that as a creator, it's my head can be very full of noise, and it's so important to just for me to spend a few hours every day in silence, whether that's walking or chilling. And so that really helps me because although I don't get the answers in that silence, it creates the space for at some point in the day, I'm like, I've just received this message. So that's how I have a very clear channel, and my body speaks to me and I listen. And then when that does come in, yeah, I use the tool that I mentioned earlier, which is called Faster EFT or Utaptics. I basically use it to you essentially feel into the emotion and what belief you've created around that that situation. So like maybe it's if I let go of this job, then I'll never get another job or whatever. And you tap and you release the emotion, and then you like replace it with a more positive emotion that's aligned to how you want to feel. Now
Yeah.
that usually takes me about an hour, and that's what I mean. I do this every day. I'll sit with myself for an hour or possibly longer, and I just let all of the gunk come up, all of the limiting beliefs, all of the negative emotions, and I just get myself down to a place where I'm feeling more positive about it. And I think
If.
what
Yeah.
whatever anyone that's watching this, whatever is the tool that helps you move through that, do it and be disciplined with it. Because people in the spiritual world don't like the word discipline because it's like masculine, bro. Replace it with devotion. But
Yes.
like you don't get, and I feel like I want to talk about this more. Yes, feminine energy, 100%, but you can be disciplined with feminine energy. I don't work crazy hours and stuff, but I'm devoted to myself, and I do that in the work, even when I don't fucking want to, when I'm like, oh, I just want to watch the TV. I spend a couple of hours every day doing that because I know that that is what serves me, and that's what's going to get me what I want and what is best for me. So, it's not always pretty and it's not always fun,
Yeah, sometimes
but
it is ugly crying and confusion until the frequency settles out.
exactly.
But the tapping, yeah, my coach recently turned me onto that. So that's new for me. And I have felt that in my body too, with the embodiment work I do from what I'm hearing you say that process, like letting it come up and feeling safe enough to feel that uncomfortableness that your mind has that thought, then you get that feeling, then your body has that reaction. And it sounds very much like through the body. We're doing different things, but it is through the body. And that is so powerful. And I love that you said replace it with devotion because that's how I see it too. It's like the discipline I feel like I used to have was like I have to do this, here's the checkbox, got to, very rigid. And this energy, this season of life, I'm like, oh, well, no, there's a different way to look at discipline. And the devotion part, I love how especially the sexy side, right? It makes discipline sexy. Yeah. Like when
Yeah.
I think of devoting and my pleasure coming back to my body, I'm like, and that's another reason why I love your post, because I'm just like, yes, can we slow down and enjoy our bodies too? Like that is devotion. Let's be disciplined about loving ourselves in that way as well.
And it's like, how can you romanticize that period, that thing that you have to do that you don't want to do? Like, I romanticize everything that I don't really want to do because we all have to do shit we don't want to do. Like I said, there are some mornings I sit there and I'm like, I don't want to sit and go into these dark places and these emotions. I don't want to do it, but how am I going to romanticize it? And it's like, maybe I'll make myself a nice cup of cacao and like I'll burn an incense, and I'll put on some soothing music while I'm doing it because it's like, yeah, it doesn't always have to be, it's uncomfortable and it is painful, but like it doesn't have to be this like arduous thing if you can change your perspective that you know that it is in deep devotion to yourself and actually it's going to bring an element of freedom on the other side. I used to be somebody who would have a 12-step morning routine and I hated every fucking step of it. I was like punishing myself.
Yeah,
And
for
now when I look back, I'm
yeah.
like, what was I doing? So now it's like, I do less, but I know what works for me. I know what feels good. And so that does feel like devotion to me.
Yeah. And would you say, like on your journey, because for me, I had to really reconnect with my body. After having four kids and then going on this journey, part of the devotion to really loving, touching my body, being with the body, that's part of the ritual, like lighting the candle, having my stones out, having the low lights, and like really romanticizing, like you said. Have you always did you like grow into that relationship with yourself? Did your chronic illness also impact that at all?
Yeah, for sure. I would say, like, I think I was always very sexual, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that I was necessarily sensual, like with myself until I would say like it wasn't my first relationship, but it was like my big love, right? When I was about 24, and that relationship and being in a safe space, we were together 5 years, it really allowed me to tap into that side of myself because I had this healthy masculine container that was holding me. And
Yeah.
that was so healing for me. And, also as well, like I've always been like a bit of a wild woman. And I think guys can be very attracted to that until they realize like, oh, like they don't like it, how it's perceived to other people. There's a huge amount of jealousy that comes with it, even though it's like I'm a very monogamous, devoted person. I'm literally celibate or in a monogamous relationship. I don't do in between. So
Yeah.
it's like, even though I'm committed to it would some relationships the men couldn't handle it because I'm a very free spirit and like people can be attracted to that even though I'm not reciprocating. So this was the first relationship where the guy actually could handle me in my wild womanness and he loved it. He supported me in it. So it really allowed me to tap into this like very sensual and primal part of myself, which was really beautiful. But then when we broke up and it was a really traumatic breakup and I got sick, that part of me shut down because
Mm.
I was like, I just created all these associations like, oh, if I tap into this side of myself, then it's going to end badly. Our subconscious creates all these beliefs based on our past experiences. And then there was a long period where I felt very disconnected. Um, and then last year when I went through this other breakup, this is when I really reconnected with it again. I was just like, I want to explore my own body again. And I had like I've probably had three now, like sexual awakenings, and it just looked so different. It was just really around exploring my body sexually and non-sexually and like really I knew that I didn't want to be in a relationship again for a long time or like a while. And so I was like, how am I going to give myself that physical touch that I get from relationships? How am I going to nurture myself to that level and like setting the intention I'm going to be celibate for a while. So I really am going to learn how to pleasure and nourish myself. And
Yes.
then because I set the intention that I was going to be completely off men, not dating or anything, all of a sudden I had all this energy and I don't know, I like committed to it more. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I love how you said sexual, but
Yeah.
sensual, because I think, especially, and I'm not just, it's not just about age, but like younger and maybe a little less conscious, there is such a difference between the sexual versus sensual aspect of it. And, you can do an action or you can be fully like present and like breathing into and meeting the edges of and the containment that you're talking about, chef's kiss. Like you can do so much on your own, but that container just unlocks, and I talk a lot about containment in the work that I do as well. And I love also how we as feminines can contain, and so I just loved hearing all of that. It definitely resonates, and it's so beautiful to hear it said from someone else. It's like, yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, I like that idea. That's in my heart.
Yeah. It's nice. Yeah. And it's nice for me to share as well because I think we're in a place where on social media it's quite anti-men. And I really am not somebody who I used to be very angry with men, very angry with men, and I'm not in that place anymore. And although I'm celibate, it's because I wanted to spend time by myself and work through my own patterns and take responsibility for the part that I played in past relationships. But I think there's like this whole thing, and even sometimes I think people perceive my content. I did a post once about like having a theory that if you are if you're not like in tune with some sort of purpose or feeling fulfilled in yourself, then you will like go after breadcrumby guys. And
Hmm.
loads of people came for me and they were like, "What's wrong with the relationship?" I'm like, "No, you're reading it wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a relationship. I'm saying that you'll lower your standards if you're not fulfilled. That's the
Yeah.
purpose of the post, and that's what I talk about. But it's not about not having a relationship. I want a divine union, but when I'm ready and very, something that feels aligned, but I'm not against it. And relationships have been incredibly healing for me. And I think that is important to talk about in a society that's a little bit like all or nothing with it, to be honest.
No, I'm totally with you because I see that men need this same work as well. And one thing I really want feminine leaders, to know, women who come and work with me, like you may have some wounding that you have to work through, but the next level, if you really are with a man who can contain you in that healthy masculinity, and you just get a taste of what that's like it is so helpful because it's the other part. And bashing on men is not going to heal a divide. We do our work and hopefully able to provide connection where, hey, they rise up too and we rise together, but let's not bash each other because it's never all one way or the other. You just can't go to the extremes of the spectrum and think you're gonna meet in the middle. You're
No,
literally far apart. I love that you said that too, because I do see that, and I can't like eat that content. Whenever I see
no,
like the men bashing content, I'm like, ew, scroll. Like I can't. It gets
no.
ick.
And it's like promoting this whole hyper independent, like little girl narrative that so many of us have that wounding, like we've all had to take care of ourselves. And I'm constantly, this is a daily practice for me, like where can I drop more of this hyper independence that's still like lingering around? But it's like everybody wants love and everybody wants, most people, I can't speak for everybody, want a relationship, like it's a core need.
Yeah,
So going around with this filter that all men are shit, all men are this, all men are that, they're never going to treat me like it doesn't serve you. Forget the men. It
yeah,
doesn't serve you because you want to be loved in the way that you dream of, but you're carrying this like protective armor
yeah,
saying you can't give it me anyway. So what's the fucking point? And it's like, where, don't get me wrong, have standards. Do not entertain fuck boys.
yeah.
Keep
Don't.
them away. But where can you soften and open to the love that you actually do want and deserve? Because it's out there. You just you have to do the work. And it's icky. It's so uncomfortable and it's so layered. Like I'm not pretending I'm like, I've not arrived. But
Yeah.
like, in my opinion, like it's going to be so worth it. Like, why would we not? Because what else is there really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much more. There's so much more, but like we're here to love and be loved.
Yeah. And connection, expression, expansion. Those are like things I always come back to. How much more can I connect with myself? And if I can do that, then how about out here in the world? And then if I can express here, which is the social media journey, like at some days I'm just doing it, like if not every day, I'll just do it for myself, even if I'm the only one watching my stuff. Express, express, express until it feels like, okay, yeah, this truth is coming, and then the expansion. And it's just like always, like you said, I'm not there, I'm here, and I'm going wherever right here takes me next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we have control over. We have like 8 minutes. But I
Okay.
saw your post where you said you were going on Patreon. So I was
Yes.
wondering if you want to talk a little bit about that, because whoever's watching this maybe
Yeah.
love to be like, hey, wait, let me find you there. So maybe we could talk about that. And then uh any last advice you have for anyone who's on the journey, thinking about going on the journey. Those are maybe our last two things we could fit in the 7 minutes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Patreon, I just really wanted a space where because I love creating content, but everyone's attention span doesn't last more than like maximum 1 minute now on these platforms. So I wanted a space where I could actually have conversations. It is just me, so they're solo, but I'm conversing with myself about the nuances of these things, right? Because we can't discuss the complexities of things in these short form content, and I wanted a space where we can really dive into those topics. And it's also a great place that I get a lot of people like ask me questions in my DMs and stuff. Obviously, I can't answer them all, and I can't give everything for free. So it's like a space where if you want to actually ask me questions and ask me to create specific, by longer, I mean 15 to 20 minutes forms of content, then like get inside the Patreon. And it's also a great place for like-minded women to hang out because there's like community chat functions in there and stuff. And it's a platform that I've always loved with other creators. So I just wanted to do it myself. So anyone can come and join me on there. It's £11 a month and there's 4 drops a month. Um, and then any pieces of advice, I would say get really clear on your values. I know this sounds so basic. Like I remember doing a coaching qualification like 8 years ago and talking about this, but there's a reason. Know your values and they change and come back to time and time again. Every day, ask yourself, am I living in alignment with these values? Is what I'm doing in alignment with these values? And feel it in your body, and your body is going to tell you if something is off. Because if I don't feel in alignment with my values, I feel all over the place. So I would say that. And then I would say find whatever helps you regulate and helps you feel good, devote to it, make it your daily practice because that shit's going to keep you stable and going to keep you grounded. And then can I just clarify when you said on the journey, do you mean like on the like
An experience could be
okay,
spiritual journey, whatever your journey is.
yeah.
Their journey, our journey.
So that and also, don't take it all so seriously. I wish that I could go back in time and tell myself, like, dude, it's not that serious. Like, I love a deep chat, but I'm actually ridiculous as well as a person. Like, I love to just make fun of life and I love to just dance and be weird because it makes everything so much easier when you remember, like, it's okay, it's not that deep.
Right.
It's deep and it's not that deep, do you know? Like,
Uh,
I like to bring that lightness to everything because at the end of the day, we are here to experience joy and pleasure. So don't get so caught up in like the super serious healing stuff that you forget like to live and smell the roses and have a bit of cake every now and then and
like in the water hose.
just shake your ass. Yeah,
Oh,
like
my favorite. Oh, like my kids are
exactly.
like, Mom, why are you wiggling again? And I'm like, I don't know, it just feels good.
It feels so good to just dance I
Yeah.
think, yeah, it's probably my favorite healing practice of all time is to just move my body. It's that simple. So do more of that.
And I love that because now looking back, I can see where my body was trying to tell me forever ago that you like to move. And I mean, I even found myself going, oh, wait, I used to do that when I was, oh, wait, I used to do that when I was, and it, it's just so lovely. Like playing and cutting up is just as important as doing the deep convo, doing the deep dive. Like, yeah, I love that balance. And I know sometimes like think about balance, balancing the scales, but it's really not like that. It's more like the dance itself
Yeah,
is the balance, where can I meet at all of these edges without toppling over? Um,
that's
I've really,
exactly it.
I've really enjoyed this today so much. Thank you for
Me
joining.
too.
And
Thank you.
if there's like a link to your Patreon, we know when like I'm gonna
Yeah.
get this stuff and I can attach it to maybe some clips of this too. So when we get off of here, I'll send you over the recording once it's done, and then you can also have the recording, do whatever you'd like to on your end with it. But uh giving you a hug like through the
You
phone
too.
here, through the screen. Any last anythings before we get off?
I was just gonna say, like, this is also one side of like showing people who you really are in the online space, as scary as it can be. You meet amazing people like we met through Instagram. You know, when you show people who you are, you attract people and you get to do amazing things like this and have exciting conversations. And I think that's probably one of the most beautiful things around social media as well, is it is connecting us if we use it in a way that's conscious. And it
Yes.
opens up all sorts of amazing opportunities.
Yeah, I totally agree because I've worked remotely also as an educator and I've never smiled on Zooms as much.
Yeah.
Never smile. This, like every conversation I've had, I just feel like I smile the whole time. Or, like I'm feeling something they may be telling me tough about their story and I'm feeling that too, but overwhelmingly I feel so much joy when I'm meeting with you and with the other women that I've talked to. So definitely conscious use of these platforms. It has such an ability to all these little lighthouses. I kind of imagine us all as our own little lighthouse. And the more we connect, it's like when you look at, the top view of the dark world, but all the little lights are popped on. That's kind of how I see us, is like the little light paths. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, light it up, light it
Yeah.
up. Yeah, so
Yeah.
just kind of playing, being authentic, connecting with each other, it literally lights the world up, and that's what I want this project to do. I want 1,000 voices, even if they're not in the room. I want it to impact 1,000 more voices. How many more women can find that voice, get that expression, connect with each other, and light this shit up on in the best possible way? Like,
I love it. Incredible.
I hope you get your good cry in today.
Well, I'll just listen to some Lana if that's okay. Yay! Cool. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you too, and I'll go ahead and shoot this over here soon.
Yeah, no rush. Take your time. Bye. Bye.
Ace says bye too.
Bye.